I think we fixed that issue. But today is the day which, I don't know, I was planning on taking a break from games and stuff. I don't know if we'll play much today because I got a bunch of things on my desks and magic cards and stuff I need to move and store and everything else and trucks to work on and everything. But I think if I'm going to continue playing games at this point, I have to probably be more consistent or at least like learn a skill from it. So I talked to a few guys. They told me about some editing software you can use for editing videos for YouTube and things. If I do that, then I will try to reopen my second YouTube channel that I was using just for like random or well for more informational stuff in the past and try to make better just all around general content there instead of just doing my free flow randomness that I do most times. And then I don't think Guild Wars is going to be like a game I'm going to play all the time. I'll probably go on and get a couple items. I think I'm going to focus more on Scum and potentially Tarkov for the most part. I doubt that I'm going to play the new Warzone or anything, but maybe I'll try it at some point. And then the only other thing I really got planned is potentially Bannerlord or Star Citizen. But most games, I tend to just break down what's going on, figure things out, solve the puzzles, mess around, and then I get to where I just go and do something else for a while, and then I'll come back and I'll test some stuff. So we tested a whole lot with Scum in the past. The issue being is that it's been I don't even know how long now, probably like a year or so. I can't remember hardly any of it. I watched a little bit of my videos to brush up. I kind of vaguely recall a lot of like some of the stuff that we did in the past. Like I remember how to set up the castle to build the castle. I remember kind of what the stats do. I don't particularly remember what my builds were for the most part. Um, I know they came out with new things and new skills. I don't think they ever implemented intelligence leveling. Um, but basically, my decisions right now are to one, I can be promoted at my current job and become a captain, which will take more days away from me, and I have to go back to school to learn a language, um, which just isn't going to make it that possible for me to play in the first place. The other thing is that I can get a second job, which I really want, so I can build my home gym and stuff because you can see I'm slowly getting out of shape. And I got, the house project. I got at least 2 rooms to build. I need to build, pour concrete out there. I need to build the garage. I got to fix my water again. It's like the sixth time I've had to fix my water. And then I'm planning on in the next 2 years being able to get this gym built outside of this house and getting back in shape. And that is probably one of my higher tier goals. And I need money to do that. So I might get a secondary job. I could do 6 12-hour shifts of different jobs and make pretty decent money, or I could leave my job and become a truck driver, but both of those would make it very difficult for me to play games and make content. Conversely, if I do decide to stay and do this, I'm going to learn to edit videos. I'm going to try and make more professional content maybe. I'll probably still do free flow streams, but then make video segments and then post more professional stuff on YouTube because I just have to have something that I'm gaining from it in general that's going to help me in the long run, I think. Conversely, I have no problems paying somebody to help me later on. I want to reopen the Scum server that I had before and redo the settings and go over all the stuff. But we need to catch up on the updates before we get going into any of this, and I'm not sure if it's this page or the other page, because I'm by no means like a game. Let me pop this out real quick. Like a professional game content maker. I generally just solve, like, I like solving puzzles and I like figuring out how to make things that suck work. That's about it. So we left, I think, at Going Nuclear. So that was November 2022. So it's been, I don't know, under a year since we've been gone. I don't know how invested I want to get in an online character at the moment because from what I heard, they're going to come out with point 0.9, and at point 0.9, they're going to do the male model updates. And if they do a male model update, then I'm going to have to remake my character again. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to go into that. But I want to look at a couple of these patch notes, small updates. I'm going to go look at the bigger stuff, I guess. Year of the Rabbit, small update hot fixes. Let's do this patch. I like how they got this organized though, because you get these small hot fix and then you get the big patch. Okay, this actually is when this is per month. Okay, so they got a pretty decent update per month. Let's see, bug fixes. The other thing is they have the cars back on, but the thing is like Scum is still on my radar for one of the top survival games that I've had. Just because I took in a break from it doesn't mean that I believe any less in that. Because like Star Citizen's up there in my mind, but it's taken a long time to get finished. But Squadron 42 is potentially coming, and then this is probably right under that for like just overall survival game experience. Could potentially be better just because the sci-fi thing of Star Citizen, as much as I like the idea and the concept of it and stuff, I just don't think it's as flavorful for me to like run around with laser guns and spaceships and just flying through the vacuum of space. Let's see. So they changed some cars. Payment options. They also they changed the fame stuff before or right after we stopped playing Scum. So I think they did that gold system. So I don't know if permadeath is more of a thing or not at this point. Because like if your character, if it runs out of gold, you can't respawn. But then if you try to make a new character, wouldn't it like erase your old character? So would you want two accounts and to like hold your gold and stuff on your spare account? Just log off with it? Because it seems like that's where it's going. But C4 changes. I don't know if it's reasonable for me to watch C4 changes from a year ago. I might just kind of like brush over this as I'm looking things over. So you're the rabbit. Oh, they got new clothes. Little dojo, like Bruce Lee type gear. I like that. I'd potentially want a black shirt, like a pure black shirt with these pants and a black mask, so I could be a ninja. That'd be good. They have the hat. God, who's that name from? What's his name from? I keep thinking Roku or something, but there's no way it's Roku. That dude from Mortal Kombat. Roku. Is it? Mortal Kombat Lightning Hatman. There we go. Raiden, that's what it is. We could be Raiden. Except for we're not going to be shooting lightning. Maybe. Maybe we will. Who knows? I like that. Simple, elegant shoes. Flat foot. I don't mind that at all. I don't know about these hats, but... Ooh, they have, was that an Adochi? And a metal spear? Or is that... I like the spear. I wonder if they ever added a shield. I doubt they did. I don't know if they have the ability to put a shield in the game or not without combining it to like a weapon set or something. At first I thought this was like double swords, like dual wielding, but yeah, then the little Nodoji. These aren't bad. I wouldn't have a problem with this. I still like the medieval sword potentially, but I don't know what damage these would be doing. That's the other thing. They changed some admin settings. Dirt bike. Dirt bike with modular capabilities. The dirt bike was already in there. Okay, so they changed it. Expansion kits. Base building expansion kits. General goods, not for cheap. 25 to 50 options are available. Do keep in mind the maximum you can expand the elements on the flag is for 75 extra. I don't know what that means. Buying wise, element wise, I'm thinking they're saying the maximum amount of objects that you can place in a building. So it's if they've that oh that's right, they changed the building system right after I left too. Yeah. So we don't get the option to build our old structures anymore. I don't know if did they have plain walls is the question. Also, what's the building limit? The maximum you can expand the elements of the flag is for 75 extra. I don't know if they're talking about in gold terms or not. Is for 75 extra just the extra elements, or is that the cost? Is the other thing. Um. Okay, so TNT. So there's a new bomb attached to walls or thrown. Okay, so you can throw the pipe bombs. Or actually, wait. Is that the thing? It says it has the same functionality. I remember trying to do something with pipe bombs in the past, and you couldn't throw them, I don't think. I think that this makes grenades inferior. Grenades can now be attached to walls as well with duct tape. Interesting. I don't, I don't know how effective a grenade would be against a wall, but maybe it'd be good. Duct tape isn't too hard to get though. But if you can throw pipe bombs, this is a whole nother level with just demolition stuff in general because pipe bombs weren't very hard to make in the past, if I recall. And the only reason that I didn't take, oh God, was it demolition? I think you need demolition and engineering. But that was like one of the big things when I first was getting into Scum. I was like, if we can craft these pipe bombs with like basic engineering or whatever, I'm just gonna have these things on me because it's basically a grenade, and I can like. There's so many, especially in survival games. There's so many times grenades become like a big deal when it comes. Well, I mean, this game it isn't as bad as like Miscreated was, but Miscreated had like a ton of bushes and grass and trees, and they never despawn, so you couldn't see anything. And when you're fighting people, it would just be like 4 hours of people just not moving at all because everyone's scared to death. Oh. All right, hand abrasions. They have foot abrasions, hand abrasions, work similar to foot abrasions, but then again, very different. Hand abrasions most actually do from crawling, chopping wood, or making repairs to rowing or pushing wheelbarrows. Okay. Okay, so you want to wear gloves when doing stuff. I'm very tempted to like when I make my characters though. The problem is with awareness. If I'm doing like a 3 intelligence character at this point, with how I made my server before and just my overall view of it now, I think my awareness skill I'd want like maxed out as top as I could. And then because you get awareness plus, I mean, that's just that much easier to get, it's not going to be that bad. And the faster you get awareness plus, the better off you are. But I haven't read anything about them allowing you to level intelligence yet. So as much as I personally can probably survive just fine with like 1.5 intelligence, that's probably still what I'm going to do. Like once everything's finalized, that's probably what I'm going to start with is like 1.5 intelligence. And it's probably going to be like medium awareness because I've been thinking about this for a little bit. These shoes are kind of cool. I don't play female characters. I'll wear them though. I'll wear them on my male character. Who knows? Bug fixes, quality of life updates. Uh, Shift F to make vehicles run while exiting. That's interesting. Car doors now remain open after entering. That's okay. So car jacks are in the game apparently. Anyone can remove. I told you they were going to come. When we saw that video and we were reviewing all the stores and stuff, and they had those car jacks. Reduce the strictness of water depth when driving. I don't know what that means. Whiskey is back in the item pool. Okay. Adjusted availability of items. I wonder if they did any balances to the trader. That would be kind of interesting because when we did our personal server before, I was going to like make it very difficult to buy things at the trading post, but we ended up making the game like kind of difficult enough to where the prices that they had weren't really that big of a deal because there wasn't really an ability to just make a ton of money on my server. And I need to find my old video if it does exist over my server settings so I can like recreate it. 'Cause I remember it was like 0.275 or something for the loot spawn. That's the other thing though, is like right now my work job, I'm working an additional 4 hours every Friday. I'm not getting overtime like I was. So when I was first working there, I was getting 412, so I was doing like extra overtime, and I was getting like double my paycheck. But apparently they might have been paying me short this whole time. And then we have when I got moved positions because I did really good and caught a bunch of issues where I was at, they moved me to another spot where I work by myself, and I had basically if something goes wrong at the job, it's going to cost our company like $40,000 for one issue, so they wanted me there to like have a good pair of eyes monitoring everything. Well, this new company come in. Well, that moved me to 36 hours, so I was getting, less money in total. And this new company is coming in, and they are basically keeping us at the same wage that we were at, even though inflation's went like way higher the last couple of years. And new hires they're bringing in are going to get paid less than us, so it potentially means that I would get replaced eventually. But the other hand, I'm getting four additional hours, so 40 hours. But that also means that I'll have like 50, $60 or whatever a week maybe. I don't know how much it's going to be, but I'll have like a little bit of extra money. It's enough that would be like what I would spend on my food for the week potentially. But that means that the Scum server now, like as long as I'm working those hours, it's went up to like $13, but I could afford to pay like, $13 a month for a Scum server. It wouldn't be that bad. Um, and then it would give me extra money to where I could pay a video editor, even if I could only like pay them once a month or whatever for one video. If I pay them once for one video or something and just posted it, uh, it might be worth it. I don't know how much they charge, but if it's like $100, $200 or something for a video or whatever for like a really high quality one, maybe I'd do it. Let's see. Videos Vehicles now turn off when starting to exit vehicle instead of exit itself. Okay. Metal wheelbar spawn, boats more stable. Okay. Crowbar is now stated as a blunt weapon instead of a piercing weapon. That's interesting. That's the other thing that I need to remember. I need to remember how the lockpicking things work. Do we need medium lockpicking or not? I'm probably going to make a character with max strength just because as much as I think like a low strength, like high endurance character is super good for like stalking people and sniping and stuff. Um, did I have 2 scum accounts? I did. Do I even remember my old scum account? Holy crap. I have a sneaky feature on the bicycle. Can't go on forever. I bet they made the bicycle chain pop off or something. Accumulated fatigue. Influence, disease. Maximum stamina reduction. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I liked having a 5 con character. That's what it was. 5 strength, 5 con. Eating food, consuming energy drinks. Drinking a hot beverage like coffee, sleeping. I'm not exactly sure what they're saying here. You have to sleep. So you can sleep while logged off. I guess. Does that mean if your character's persistent in the world, that's gonna suck. Dial locks. We got. Okay, the big city came in. So we need to look at that new big city. Interesting. Okay, so we got Hell's Kitchen. Regular update. Addition of generators and electricity. They did new things with batteries. Burn damage. Let's look at that. Okay. Hear an animal noise somewhere. Depending on the animal, the noise will be different. but it will always point you in the direction of where you need to move. Search the area in focus mode and you'll be able to find your first clue. Okay, cooking rework. See, this is telling me that I don't know, maybe the awareness skill's more important in general anyway, just for finding the animals. Acts like they're gonna make them spawn after you finish these clue things, instead of the animal just being there. That's also, I doubt they would do that for wolves though, because you need your wolves to be killing people. That also means potentially that they could make more wolves a thing. Yeah, portable gas stoves, that's interesting. Okay, you fill them up at the dill. It says the radius of construction. Portable gas stove can also be filled with gas by itself. Medium electric generator, small electric generator. Petroleum powered, that's going to be annoying. Prefab ovens, refrigerators, interesting. Cookbooks, I like it. Good old cookbooks. Okay. New Century. Do you like mechs? Yes, but we want them bigger, stronger, and with more weapons to torture you with. Sounds good. Has dual machine gun, grenade launcher with flashbang, CS gas, and HE capabilities. HE. RPG-7. Heat and frag rocket variants. People are going to get shot by these things out in the world. As soon as somebody has like a stockpile of these, they're going to start blowing people up. You just wait. While I produce many variants. Okay, AT4. Single shots, 84 millimeter shoulder fired recoilless launcher, medium solution for light disposable man, portable anti armor, and anti fortification launcher. It's useless against any heavy armor slash fortifications. I don't know if they consider base building stuff that though. Interesting. Another layer of protection. The BCU lock is a new gadget you can place on your door or wardrobe. It then connects to each of your squad members' BCU and can only be opened by someone that has that BCU. That is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But this also has a problem because, as annoying as it would be, you could have basically a secondary character that's all max engineering and all that and build a base with him with maxed out walls and stuff and then store your loot in that building and just log on to that character to open the doors, you know? Crisco. Yeah, we need to explore the city. All right, there's smoking. Message from our programmer about fatigue. It's important. Accumulating fatigue has been reworked into a body condition named exhaustion. Instead of immediately lowering your max stamina as you get exhausted, this body condition will have a buffer. The C1 severity of this body condition will act as this buffer. This means that your max stamina will not be lowered until the exhaustion body effect has reached C2. Just as before, exhaustion can be temporarily lowered by drinking energy drinks or permanently lowered by eating good food, resting, and smoking. Why is smoking reducing exhaustion? That's my question. I think you can just do the constant. Alright, hold up 1 second. Cigarette will enter your clothing inventory and act as a mask. Huh. Help with exhaustion recovery depending on what pack it is. Classics are weak, so they recover less, while Lucky Stars are strong and recover more. But don't think that you can just do without consequences. You're liable to suffer from nicotine poisoning if you try to smoke too much. Nicotine poisoning has 2 stages: dizziness and disorientation. Symptoms 2: vomiting, diarrhea, weakness. Interesting. There is no cure other than Phoenix Tears. The only way to get rid of it is to stop smoking. When you manage to get a plant that will give you buds, all you need is some paper. Cannabinoid poisoning. The orientation bloodshot eyes. Bloodshot eye intensity increases. Diarrhea, dizziness, heightened senses. Is heightened senses bad or good? That's the question. Heightened senses, intensity increased, vomiting. If that helps you hear better or something, that's going to be bad. Increases the intensity your character sees the world around them and perceives colors. That could be, I don't know if that's good or bad. Because depending on what people are wearing, gives you the effect of bloodshot eyes. Visually, you will see your capillaries pulsing red around your screen. .22 pistol, my man. Server settings work as well. You no longer have to mess around with files properly form. All settings can now be easily accessed and tweaked in-game in the menu. Interesting. I like that. These, quality, man, quality. Battery work. All right, we'll learn that. We'll learn it. Night vision scope, or they added night vision scope. They added tobacco. Some sort of medic helmet. Okay. Location in DO sector. The new POI is long abandoned huge radar site. Good place for a hidden stash. This reminds me of something from Tarkov, I think. Okay. Bug fixes, quality of life. All right. Burn damage. Hmm. Symptoms you'll experience not treating properly. C1, first degree burns, reduced dexterity stats. C2, reduced dexterity stack weakness. C3, dexterity stack weakness distance. Burn gel. There are two. Interesting. Modular vehicle damage is now complete. No longer drive your car off a cliff and it would be fine, but the vehicle now have more removable parts. They take individual damage. That makes me wonder if you can like go up to someone's car and damage their door until it falls off and then take their car. You probably still have to pick the lock, I guess, but glass shiv. Interesting. Also, was telling me that there's a glass item. Battery charger medium. Very interesting, scum. I like it. I like it indeed. We also have some stuff that we need to review in Tarkov at some point. I'm actually was surprised that Tarkov was still running because I figured with the war going on they would have cut it off or something by now. But I like it. They had the big city update, all of that. I don't think they added any survival elements to it really yet, besides the food and water stuff that was already there. So Well, well, well. Let's go single player. We'll create a new one. I want to see what they got going on. So, was this the face that we used last time? This is a new Lucas Moncada DLC. Trejo. Do we care about farming is the question. And they have cooking. Animal handling as well. Yeah, that's a hard one. Interesting. So dexterity goes up over a while anyway, but even here though, the driving, like basic driving and basic motorcycling is like the main things. And then I guess basic thievery would be the other one, where you do basic demolition right off the bat. Basic thievery versus basic stealth versus basic aviation. I feel like intelligence is going to be a really big one in the future. Like, I think if I was to do this like on a game, like at launch, I'd probably do like one dex, one intelligence. You do basic survival, basic medical, basic farming. Hmm. You could do like basic biochem stuff. Like, but if I did, I'd probably go like 5511. You get really close to medium awareness. Max running, max brawling. I don't think we necessarily need 5 in these stats though. So you could go 5, 4.5, 4.5. Because they don't have swimming or anything in Constitution as far as we've seen. So, and then your dexterity, you could go up. And then you could have basic driving, motorcycling, aviation, stealth. Or take aviation out, basic throwing, basic thievery. Oh, God. I don't know. We haven't had any problems with planes for the most part, but I mean, if it ever stalled while you're trying to take off, it'd be a problem. Advanced brawling, medium, probably the best here. I mean, this is just like your brawling would just get way better in general, but also like melee weapons. I mean, it's 50-50 between brawling and melee weapons for me here because melee weapon wise, it's going to be what you use 99% of the time. And people that don't have brawling, you're probably going to be able to beat them with medium brawling. Hmm. Basic driving, basic motorcycling. I don't really care about the aviation. I think throwing we could potentially level pretty well, so I'd probably go basic thievery. That would help our lockpicking stuff. I think cooking, depending on what cooking does, would be the big one. Let me just look up skills. See if they've had update a list. Okay, so it's not on there. Why is age in here? Cooking stat. Interesting. I don't know, maybe they have a better in-game description. I think this is probably pretty decent. I would do awareness just because it's going to help us with hearing and seeing people in camouflage a little bit. Anyone under medium, we're going to be able to find them fairly decently. Um, I think PvP-wise, medical would be better, but awareness, hunting-wise, just for food, if the whole food mechanic is stuck behind finding. Name's already taken. What? Arson. Awesome, they say. Gold balance, account balance, fame points. Oh, whippersnappers. Oh, whippersnappers. Wait. Oh god, it's been weird. Alright, what's the button? What's the button? Crouch. Fight. Map. Seems weird that we just know how to do this. Casserole. Oh. Okay, so we go to casseroles, but the only thing we know how to do is fried eggs. Gotcha. Okay. Aiming dot occupancy, throwing accuracy, throwing speed. I like it says throw various weapons and items. So I mean, it seems like the higher it is, the better you're gonna throw certain items. Hmm. Thing is with intelligence, compared to all the other skill stats that they have, when this finishes, it's gonna be like a long. Like, you're gonna need like 3 or 4 lines for this, compared to these. I think maybe they should break it down a little bit, you know? Okay, let's look at this. Cooking is a skill that enables you to create delicious and nutritious meals. Is raised by cooking meals. It influences meal cooking times. That's the thing that's weird to me, though, because do you necessarily, if the cooking times are shorter, that's fine, but do we care about cooking faster, you know? The compass complexity could be important because we have no compass at the moment. Okay, and they did change base building, so that's something I need to learn as well. believe these are engineering. So these are survival stuff, I believe. This is more engineering stuff. Garden doesn't take any skill, apparently. Plank, snails, paddle. Okay. Crafting requires... I mean, 12 gauge buckshot, improvised cartridge looks like medium engineering. All of this seems pretty base standard. It looks like 50 AE is medium. Advanced, you get 45, 556. I mean, these are armor-piercing ammos. Okay. Yeah, so the armor-piercing stuff you don't get. I think we can live with that. It's probably that's just more important for the big fights, probably. Still got quivers. Where's that BCU? Got Geiger counters, large batteries. Force lock, silver lock. How do you do the BCU lock? That's the question. Oh my god. Let's go over here. Scum BCU lock. Let's watch the video. Why not?
This is Dave, head of marketing at a ketchup company, about to use Grab to handle a tight deadline.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Scum video. In today's video we check out the new BCU locks. Take a look at where we can find them and how exactly they will work. As always folks, thanks for watching and hopefully you can find this video useful. So, how and where do we get BCU locks? You may already know this, but by killing the new Macs that were introduced to the game with 0.85, the Hell's Kitchen update, you can collect BCU locks. I will link the video on the end screen if you would like to know more about how to kill the Macs, but essentially, once they are disabled, you can now search the Mac body and they will spawn high tier loot including BCU locks. Another location that I have found the BCU locks in is these half moons that are located within the bunker compound. Now, it is very important to take a look at where we can find them and how exactly
I thought they would be craftable, but maybe not.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you can find this video useful. So, how and where do we get BCU locks? You may already know this, but by killing the new Macs that were introduced to the game with 0.85, the Hell's Kitchen update, you can collect BCU locks. I will link the video on the end screen if you would like to know more about how to kill the Macs, but essentially, once they are disabled, you can now search the Mac body and they will spawn high tier loot including BCU locks. Another location that I have found the BCU locks in is these half moons that are located within the bunker compound. Now, it is very important to note that there may be other places that these will spawn, but I am just noting the 2 locations I know for sure where BCU locks can be found. If you folks know any other locations, please leave them in the comment section for others to see. Now, let's get down to the important stuff. How exactly do they work? The most important thing to note here is they have a battery life. This means you will need to charge your lock. This can simply just be done by using any battery, but unfortunately, in case you are wondering, you cannot hook them up to your generator. A full charge will generally last about 3 or 4 days. From what I have found, the battery will decrease around a quarter each day. Once the battery is dead, the lock will no longer work, so keep them charged, folks. So, once you have located your lock, you have a few options on where you can place it. The most obvious would be the front door into your base. This is fine, it forces raiders to use explosives on your first layer of base. That is only if they do not already have the key. Other useful places to put your lock is in a personal chest or locker that's situated deep inside your base. This will generally ensure your best loot is secured in the scenario of you being offline raided. This brings me on to how do we unlock enemy BCU locks. So, this part is pretty simple and at the same time might surprise a lot of people. First of all, we can only place 1 BCU lock per flag area. This essentially means you cannot place multiple locks on multiple doors in an attempt to make your base unraidable. Also, you cannot use a BCU lock on a prefab door, which will also prevent this thinking, and you cannot place them on cars either. Obviously, we need a BCU to unlock these locks, and to get this, we simply need to kill the player who placed the lock and remove his BCU from his body. This will then become the key. It is also important to note that if you are in a squad, then any player from that squad can be killed and have their BCU removed to open that door. Once a BCU...
I'm already seeing a thing with this though, because if they haven't changed anything from the last time I was here, then my base design for 4 bases around the outside of a central base would basically be unstoppable almost, because you'd have 4 bases of wall layers protecting an inside base, and then you'd have your BCU lock on the outside of each of those bases, with your central base having a BCU lock which has your gear in it, which is just
has been
gonna...
used to open the door, the BCU will then disappear, but the lock will remain. This ensures a reusable lock and keeps its reliability intact. So be careful out there, folks.
What does it say?
Door. Once a BCU has been used to open the door, the BCU will then disappear, but the lock will remain. This ensures a reusable lock and keeps its reliability intact. So be careful out there, folks. Keep your head on your shoulders and stay out of danger. See ya.
Interesting. Just destroy the door though. But I guess it does stop quite a lot of stuff. Now what's the other thing they had? They had what was supposed to be server options. I don't remember what I was doing with any of that, so I'm just gonna leave it the same. Okay. Alright, I'm going to eat some din din real quick, and then I will come back, see if I can find my server video that I had from before, and then we will try to apply that to this, and I can just play on single player for a little while as a solo. and then eventually we'll get our other server rebuilt once we have people willing to join it, I guess. So I'll be back here in a little